All right, Shalom. Once again, Hebrew Israelites come out week after week prophesying the downfall of America and to warn the people, to wake up these people on that sign right there. You know, as you can see, first and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Kodash. Peace and salutations to your brothers out there on the highways and byways all around the world. No. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to your brothers that are out there all around the world that's doing this work faithfully, diligently, and sincerely. So as you can see, you know what I mean? We're in the end times, you know. But, you know, people are sleeping, people are not awake, you know. People are just going by their daily lives and they're not knowing what's about to happen, you know. That, you know, the full weight of, you know what I'm saying, the full weight of tribulation is about to come upon America, you know. People are just not prepared, you know. And that time is just right around the corner, you know. We're almost here, you know, it's just that close, you know. Like they say, you know, quiet before the storm, you know. You know, you got that quiet, then, you know what I mean, all of a sudden, you know what I mean, that storm comes. But yet, you know, all the signs are there, you know, all the signs are in place, but people just don't see it, you know. People just don't see that America is about to literally be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles, you know. And that time is right around, that time is just right around the corner, you know. Sadly for our people, you know, the great majority of our people, they're not vigilant, you know. They don't see the warning signs that's about to come upon America. They don't see that America's going down, you know. They just lollygagging and, you know, in their folly, you know. The scripture says folly is set in great dignity, you know. They're hypnotized by that folly and that, you know, and what's going on in this place, you know. They're not watching the signs that's about this place, you know. They're not prepared or not, you know, focused on what's about to happen. Just like, you know, you got that red light, you know. That red light is a sign, is a warning sign to let you know to stop. But yet, you know, people are not taking heed to the warning signs that are in place. You know, people are just not taking heed to what's going on. And, you know, and what happens when you ignore them warning signs, you know what I mean? You're heading forth to collision, you know, to disaster, you know? You're on the verge of disaster. So I'm going to get this real quick. In the book of 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, verse 1. And it says, "He answered me then and said, measure thy time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin the world which he made." You know? You know? You know, because at the end of the day, you know, people are not aware that the Most High is getting ready to visit this world. You know, he's about to visit this place. You know, Yahushai he's about to send Yahushai to come and visit this place. But before he does, you know, he's gonna have all type of calamities that come upon this place before Yahushai comes. You know, first and foremost, you know, you're gonna have that next major attack, you know, whatever it might be, you know what I mean? That's gonna take place next. That's what's gonna happen next. Because, you know, you got that devil in office, Donald Trump, you know. He already made a statement that a storm is coming. And, you know, and that just went over the people's heads, you know. He made a statement that a storm is coming. And, you know, the people asked him what kind of storm, how would it happen? He said, you'll see, you know, you'll see. So that doesn't look like a guy that's selling. Well, he didn't look like he didn't look like he was playing either, and he wasn't playing either when he said that. You know, he didn't look like a guy that was playing. You know, You could tell he meant business when he said that, you know, because he's a businessman, you know what I mean? And everything he does, you know, he means business, you know. When he first got in office and he was talking about putting up a gate, you know what I mean? Putting up a fence to keep out, you know, the tribe of Issachar out, you know, which are you so-called Mexicans. He wasn't playing, you know. He did what he said he was gonna do. So when you hear a guy like that says a storm is coming, you know, real soon, you know, the quiet before the storm, you know, especially a guy like that, you know, Donald Trump, you know, he means business, you know, because he's about business. He means business, you know what I mean? So he meant business when he said that. So, but, you know, as you can see, you got all these people out here, you know, they're just in there lollygaggling, you know, going shopping, going to Macy's, you know. They're able to get their, you know, chocolate lattes or whatever, you know, their coffee lattes, you know, their coladas, you know what I mean? So they think life is good. They think everything is good. But little do they know that a storm is about to hit them, you know, that, you know, suddenly, you know, it's going to happen suddenly. Because it says, let me hold it there. Let's get this precept again here. Yeah, just bear with me 1 second, brothers. You know, just trying to find that scripture. I should have marked it. So this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3, because this is what's going to happen. So this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. You know what I mean? So right now we're in that peace and safety phase. You know, we're in the phase of when people think it's just peace and safety, that nothing's going to happen. But little do they know that something's going to happen, and it's going to happen suddenly when you least expect it. Just, you know what I mean? History should already tell you that, you know what I mean? You should go back in history and look at 9/11, you know what I mean? You know, on that day, you know, people was going about their business, you know, going about their everyday lives, you know what I mean? They weren't aware that, you know, planes were gonna hit the tower, you know what I mean? They weren't aware that planes would be crashing into buildings, you know, that day and killing thousands and thousands of people, you know? They weren't aware that thousands of people were gonna die that day, you know? Nobody was aware that thousands upon thousands of people would die, you know, on that day, 9/11, you know? Just like likewise now, you know what I mean? When that second attack happens, when that new attack when the second attack happens, you know, it's going to be much worse than the first one, than 9/11. It's going to be hell worse, you know. It's going to make 9/11 look like child's play compared to what's about to happen next, you know, to what's about to happen now, you know. So, you know, and these people are just walking around by here, you know, just not paying attention, you know, not intrigued or not taking heed, you know, to what's about to happen, you know. But when it does happen, then that's when they'll finally understand, and that's when they'll finally realize that, okay, you know, just like, you know, the apostles, you know, for years the apostles was prophesying the downfall of America, you know, for years, you know. But when an incident like 9/11 happened, that's when, you know, a lot of people started flocking to the apostles and wanted answers, you know. That's when they wanted to hear. That's when they actually wanted to actually get down, when it actually happened, you know. And that's the mentality of these people, you know. That's the mentality of the so-called American people, you know. They like to see it first, you know. They like to see it first before they believe it, you know. They don't like to take heed to the men of the Lord that's on the highways and byways, you know, noising his word abroad, you know, especially our people, you know. Our people are the main people that, you know, that are stuck in that, you know, mind frame, you know. Because you know, they'll like to say, oh, you know, I want to see it first, but I want to see it first in order to believe it. I got to see it first, you know. But little do you know what I mean, once you see it, it's going to be too late, you know. Don't come jumping on the bandwagon now after years of the men of the Lord out here on the highways and byways was telling you that a storm was coming, you know what I mean? Because we've been telling you that, you know. We've been telling you for years that America's going to be destroyed, you know. We've been telling you that there's going to be sedition among men, you know. There's going to be famines, you know what I mean? There's going to be mass death, you know. There's going to be murder, you know. There's going to be hunger, you know. There's going to be great tribulation in the streets of America real soon, you know. And that's right around the corner. But yet people don't want to listen. You know, especially our people, they don't want to listen, you know. But when that time comes, don't come jumping on the bandwagon now, you know. Don't come saying, oh yeah, I want to get down, you know what I mean? Yeah, where the apostles at? Because we're not going to be around, you know. We're going to be long gone. Because the scriptures speak about a famine of the word, you know. A famine of the word is gonna happen, you know. You're not going to be able to find us on the internet. There's not going to be no electricity in that day, you know. There'll be no internet in that day, you know. You're not going to be able to pick up a smartphone, you know what I mean, and go on YouTube to try to seek us. Or be able to turn on your computer, you know, or your monitor, you know, and you go on the World Wide Web and you type in YouTube, you won't be able to find us, you know. Because nothing ain't going to work in that day. Nothing. Everything would completely be shut down, you know. Shut down. Then what? So you better get it while it's hot now, you know, like like the saying goes, you know, you better get it now. You better get it while it's hot now. You know, you better get this now. Because Noah was out there prophesying for 1,000 years, you know. No, not 1,000 years. 220 years, you know. He was out there prophesying that a flood was coming 120 years. But what did the people of old did, you know? They ignored him, you know? They took him as a joke, you know? But really, they weren't really mocking him. They were really mocking the Most High, you know what I mean? Because the Most High was working through Noah and was the one that instructed Noah to build that ark, you know? He instructed Noah to build that ark, you know? Because he told Noah that I'm going to flood the world, you know. I'm going to destroy this world by water, you know. He gave Noah that instruction. He told Noah. And what did Noah do? You know, Noah, you know, went out and prophesied it, you know, to the people. You know, he prophesied it for 120 years while he was building that ark, you know. He was prophesying to the people, but the people took him as a joke. Likewise in this generation, you know, it's just another repeat of the generation that was in Noah's generation, you know. This generation is just a complete repeat, you know. The people of America is repeating the same thing that the generation of Noah did, you know. You know, it's just another repeat of what happened back then in the days of Noah. But I'm gonna get that precept, you know. You know, it said like it should be as the days of Noah, you know. You know, where people are just eating and drinking and giving into marriage, you know. And then when that flood came, it just took all the people. And the people was banging on that door, you know, banging on that window, you know, banging on that ark, you know. Let us in. We believe you now, Noah. Let us in. You know, but the Most High was the one that closed the ark, you know. He's the one that shut the ark shut. He shut that door shut, you know. Because at the time, you know, you should have got it while you had the chance. Just like right now, you know, brothers are out there teaching, you know. You better get it while you have the chance, you know. Scripture says, seek ye the Lord while you may be found, you know. At the end of the day. Because, you know, a storm is coming, you know. Great tribulation is about to hit America, you know. And at the end of the day, you know, that tribulation is right around the corner. So, you know, people are just playing games, you know, lollygagging and pretending like shit ain't gonna happen. Especially our people. Our people are the main ones, you know. Our people don't want to take heed to what we're saying, you know. They don't want to listen, you know. They want to believe that America's going to go on forever, you know. They want to believe that, you know, America's going to continue on another 1,000 years, another 100 years from now. Just showing how people completely just lost their mind, you know what I mean? How our people is completely just brain dead, you know. No sense of understanding whatsoever, you know. But I'm gonna get that in Proverbs. Okay, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 22. And it says, how what I mean? And read it up there. You know, let me just back that up real quick. Isaiah 46. It's the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou forgottest the law of the Most High, I will also forget thee, thy children. You know, because our people, you know, they're the main ones. They don't like to listen. You know, which are you so-called blacks, Hispanics, you know, and Native Indians. You know what I mean? Y'all don't want to listen to the word of the Most High. You know what I mean? Because you refuse to listen to the word of the Most High, you reject the word of the Most High is going to reject you in that day. And I'm going to get into that right now in the book of Proverbs, the second chapter, verse 22. So this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 22. Select it. It says, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge? You know, just like I read in the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6, that my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. You know what I mean? Because they hate knowledge. But this is what's going to happen, you know, to fools that hate knowledge. You know, this is what's going to happen to them. Turn ye at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. You know, the Most High would pour out his spirit unto you. You know, how is he pouring out his spirit? You know, he's pouring out his spirit through his servants, the prophets, you know, the men of the Lord, you know, the apostles of GMS on down, you know. The apostles of GMS, and those that may not be affiliated with GMS, you know what I mean? That's still teaching the doctrine the right way, you know? The Most High is pouring out his spirit to those men, you know? That's what it means when he said he will pour out his spirit onto you, you know? Men that are out here on the highways and byways that's teaching his word, you know? Men that is doing this work, you know? That's how he's pouring his spirit unto us, you know? That's how he's pouring the spirit unto our people, you know, out in the streets, you know, on the highways and byways, you know. That's how the Most High is making his word known, you know, to the people, by sending up the men, you know, to go out and prophesy the downfall of this country, you know. That's how the Most High is making his presence known. Now, let me continue on. I will make known my words unto you. Just like I said, he'll make known his words unto us. How is he doing that? Like I said, you know, through his servants, the prophets, you know, the men of the Lord. You know what I mean? The men that are out there on the highways and byways that's prophesying the downfall of America, you know? That's teaching his word the right way, you know? That's how he's making his word unto you, you know, known unto the people. But yet, you know, you got our people, they want to ignore this word. They don't want to take this word seriously. But that time is going to come, you know what I mean? They're going to come running in that day. All right, I'm going to continue on. Because I have called and ye refused, and I stretched out my hand and no man regarded, you know? He called and no man refused, you know what I mean? The men of the Lord is calling, you know? He's calling. But yet, you know, our people don't want to listen, you know what I mean? Our people just don't want to take heed and listen to what the men of the Lord are saying, you know? They don't want to abide and come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments that the most, you know? They want to do the things of this world. They want that. They want to do their folly and their bullshit, you know? Not just me alone, you know? Those brothers would be out, the elders, in particular Elder Adam and Amos and the rest of the brothers, they'd be out tomorrow, you know? So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, they don't want to take heed, you know? Like I was saying, they don't want to take heed to what the prophets are saying, you know? They just want to, you know, just smoke weed, you know? They want to do their fucking dope. They want to do their drugs, you know? They want to snort their fucking coke. They want to snort coke. They want to do all this bullshit, you know? Party, you know, having sex, committing adultery, you know? You know, doing all type of witchcraft and shit, you know? That's all our people about, you know? They're about folly, you know? They're about bullshit. They're about bullshit. They don't want to come back to the Most High, to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, and keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, you know? They don't want to come back to the commandments. But what's going to happen, you know? This is what's going to happen when you disobey Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, you know? When you despise the word of Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai. But ye have set not all my counsel, you know? And the counsel are the men of the Lord, you know what I mean? Are the brothers out there on the highways and byways that's noising this word abroad, that's teaching this word diligently and faithfully. Those are the brothers, you know? Those are the brothers that are out there. Those are the counsel, you know? The brothers that are out there on the highways and byways that's doing this work, you know? That's the counsel. Right here, this is the counsel of the Most High. We're in the counsel of the Most High, you know? And nobody wants to listen. Let me read that again. But ye have set not all my counsel, and were none of my reproof. And this is the main part. This is what it says, you know? This is what the Lord is, this is what Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to do, you know, for not obeying the law, statutes, and commandments, for not taking heed to what the Lord would, for not taking heed, you know, to what the prophets are saying, to what his prophets were saying, you know. This is what's going to happen. This is what the Lord is going to do. Verse 26, I will also will laugh at your calamity, which I will mark when your fill cometh, you know. The Most High is going to laugh at you when your calamity comes, you know. The Most High is going to laugh at you, you know. And how he's going to laugh at you? He's going to laugh at you, you know, through his men, you know. The men that was born and that was out here for years, you know, the men of the Lord that was out here for years, you know. In particular, the apostles of GMS, which was out here for decades, you know, prophesying the downfall of America, you know, prophesying that, you know, this country is going to be destroyed, you know, prophesying about the sedition among men, you know, that a man would not be able to go into a city, you know. You won't be able to go into a city, you know, another city. You know, you won't be able to go into Brockton or Randolph, you know, or all these other states, you know. They're going to shut these cities down. They're going to block all these major cities, you know. That's sedition, you know. It's going to be sedition among men, you know. And the men of the Lord have been warning about that for years, you know. So when it comes, and when you get caught up in that sedition and in that tribulation, and you're begging the Most High, you know what I'm saying, you're begging the Most High for help, you know, he's not going to hear you, you know, he's going to laugh at you, you know, because the name of the Most High is not Jesus, you know. The name of the Most High, the name of the Most High is not God, or the name of the Savior, you know, the Lord is not Jesus, you know. The name of the Lord, the name of the Lord is not Jesus, you know. The name of the Most High is not God, you know. The name of the Most High is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you know. The way you will learn that name if you listen to what the brothers are teaching, you know, that's how you learn that name, you know. In particular, you know, for our people, you know, that's how you're gonna get that name. But when you mark and you wave your hand and you don't want to take heed to what the brothers are teaching, you know, the Most High is gonna mark you. You know, you're gonna call up on the name God, help me, Jesus, help me, but he ain't gonna hear you, you know, because those are not their names, you know.
Just you today?
Yep.
Hey.
Yep,
Makes
just
sense.
me. Yep.
Yeah, hey, somebody has to do it, right?
Yeah, somebody got to do it.
You have to continue the preaching.
That's right.
Because preaching is education.
That's right. You know?
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You know, you see, you know, Saturday, you know, somebody's got to do it. That's just like you said. You know, somebody's got to do it. You know, because you Jakes out there, you niggas out there, you know, you niggas and spits and wetbacks ain't gonna do it. You know, you tomahawks ain't gonna do it. You know. They ain't gonna do it, you know. They're too busy caught up in this world, you know. They're too busy in their folly, you know. They're too busy trying to scheme on the next man's woman, you know. They're too busy smoking weed, or you know, they're too busy, you know, shooting up dope, or snorting up fucking coke, you know, or smoking crack, you know. You know, they're too busy, you know, drinking liquor, you know. Or trying to make it in the society, or too big trying to go to college, you know, trying to get an education, so-called education. But little do you know that, you know, all that college and all that trying to get an education is all a waste of time. It's all bullshit. Because what's gonna end up happening, he's gonna accumulate a whole lot of debt that you won't be able to pay off, you know. And in a sense, you know, you're not guaranteed to get a job within that field that you so-called took that course for, you know, that you're studying for. Because you got a whole litany of people, you know, that's ahead of you, still waiting to get that position, you know. You know, you're too busy trying to chase a dream that doesn't even exist, you know. It's all bullshit, you know. But that's all our people are caught up into, you know. They don't want to come out here. They don't want to listen to the words of the Most High, or want to take heed to the warning signs that America will be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction, you know. They don't want to hear that, you know. But let me read on. Let me continue to read on. Verse 27, when your fear cometh as the desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. You know, when that hell, you know, when that hell come upon you, when that anguish, you know what I mean? Anguish, you know, that's a strong word right there. When you're in anguish, when you're in pain, you know, and you're trying to ask the Most High for mercy, you know, he's not going to answer you. He's going to ignore you, because you should have got it while it's hot, you know. You should have took heed and took heed to what the brothers were saying while it was hot, you know, while you still had time, you know, because at the end of the day, there's not much time left, you know. At the end of the day, the signs are in your faces, you know. The warning signs are there, you know. It's in your face, but yet you don't want to see it. You don't want to believe it. But you know, that's when you're gonna call upon the Most High, when you're in your great tribulation. You know, that's when people want to take heed and want to pay attention. When great tribulation happens to them, something bad happens to them. That's when they want to get serious. You know, that's when they want to finally get serious, when something bad happens to them. You know, they don't want to get serious, you know, when the brothers out there in the highways and byways, you know, where they seem to be all right, you know, and people think, when people think, you know, where it may seem to be cool, it may seem to be good, that nothing's going to happen, you know. That's when they don't want to listen, you know. But, you know, you got to get it while a brother's out there in the highways and byways that's noising this word abroad, you know. Because the Most High put that brother there to teach you, to warn you that these things are coming, you know. That's when you get this. That's when you get it, you know. When you hear a brother out there on the highways and byways, you know, teaching this word and prophesying the downfall of this place, that's the time to get it. Not when it happens, you know. Not when you see when it happens. By the time when you see when it happens, it'll be too late, you know. It's too late, you know. You should have got it while it was hot, you know. So I'm going to continue on. Verse 28. Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. You know, you're going to seek the Most High early, you know, but yet you're not going to find them. You know, you're not going to find them in the day of trouble, you know. That's not the time to look for the Most High, you know. That's not the time to look for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai when the actual time comes, you know, because he set that appointed time to happen. He set that judgment, you know. So now is that time would be the time to pay, you know. You're gonna have to pay for what you have done, you know, to his servants, the prophets, for ignoring his servants, the prophets, you know. You're gonna have to pay for that, you know. That day is gonna be the time to pay, you know. That's gonna be a payday, you know. Like the old saying goes, there's a payday someday, you know. When you choose to ignore the words of the Heavenly Father, you know, there's a payday for that, you know. There's a payday someday, you know, and that's going to be the time to pay, you know. That's not going to be the time to look for the Most High to try to seek, to try to get the truth then. It's going to be too late then, you know. You're going to have to pay in that day, you know. You're going to have to pay for mocking and making fun of the men of the Lord, you know. You're going to have to pay for that, you know. You're going to have to swallow. You're going to have to swallow that, you know. You're going to have to endure that pain, endure that anguish. You know, that famine, you know, that famine, no electricity, no food, no water, no transportation, no means of communication, you know, you're gonna have to pay for that. You're gonna have to endure that, you know. You're gonna have to endure that tribulation, you know. You're gonna have to take it. So, let me continue on. So I'm going to read it again. They shall call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. Verse 29. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose to fear the Most High, fear the Lord. They would not of my counsel. They despised all of my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of thy fruit of their own ways. You know, they shall eat the fruit of your own ways. You know, that's the Most High saying that. You know, that's the Most High saying that. You shall eat the fruit of your own ways. You know, your stubbornness, you know, your arrogance, your pride, you know, because you allowed your pride to cloud your common sense, you know. Now you got to pay for that, you know. Now you got to pay for that. You got to swallow that, you know, for allowing your pride to cloud your common sense, you know. You got to pay for that. But at the end of the day, it was all It was all predestined by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua anyway, because 2/3 of you niggas got to go, you know? 2/3 of you are just not going to get it, you know? You're not going to take heed, you know? You're not going to understand. You're not going to get this, you know? You're just going to have to get it on the other side when you come back, you know, through one of the brothers, you know? Through one of the elect, you know? That's going to be the time for you. That's when you're going to get it, you know? And that's where that scripture in Romans, that all Israel shall be saved, will be fulfilled, you know? We're just going to have to get this on the other side, you know? Because it was the Most High that blinded you, you know? The Most High that put that blindfold upon your eye, your spiritual eyes, so you can't understand this, you know? So you're going to have to just get it on the other side, you know? You're just going to have to get this on the other side, you know? When the kingdom is established. That's when you 2/3 will understand. That's when you 2/3 will get it, you know? But you're not going to get it now. You're too wicked as hell, you know? You're wicked as all hell, so you're not going to get this now, you know? You're just going to have to get it on the other side, you know? So I'm going to continue. And be filled with their own devices. Verse 32. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of food shall destroy them, you know? And your so-called prosperity ain't even real prosperity, you know? It's all bullshit, you know? The dollar is not backed by gold or silver, you know? The dollar is bullshit, you know? And that's just a complete violation of the Heavenly Father's law, that you shall not do on what's going on?
What's up, man?
All right. Yeah.
What is it you're reading? Bible?
Yeah, the Holy Scriptures. Yes.
I see that. I'm Christian myself.
Oh, you Christian?
Yeah. Are you Catholic or Christian?
No, I'm a Hebrew Israelite.
What?
I'm a Hebrew Israelite. What's your nationality?
Chinese.
You're Chinese?
But I study in the States. So.
Oh, you study in the States?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah, like 5 years.
So you've been a Christian all your life?
Yeah, because my parents are Christian.
Okay. So, you may be a Israelite. You know what I mean? You never know. You know. Right here on the sign. See this? So these are the tribes of the nation of Israel right here.
Yeah.
So you got Judah, the so-called Negroes; Benjamin, the so-called West Indians; you got Levi, the so-called Haitians; Zebulon, the so-called Guatemala to Panamanian; Ephraim, which are the so-called Puerto Ricans; Manasseh, which are the so-called Cubans; Gad, which are the so-called North American Indians; Reuben, which are the so-called Seminole Indians. You got Naphtali, which going to Argentina to Chile. You got Asher from Colombia to Uruguay, and Issachar, so-called Mexican.
So what about it, like?
You know what I mean? So these are the Lord's people. These are the chosen people of the Lord.
Yeah.
These are the Lord's chosen people. Because he's only dealing with the nation of Israel. He's only dealing with these people here.
So what am I supposed to do with this information?
You know what I mean? Huh?
So like now I know, so what happens now? Like,
you may be an Israelite. You know what I mean?
And then what?
It all depends. If you have that zeal of the Most High, 9 times out of 10 you could be an Israelite. Because,
so are you trying to convert people, or?
Well, in particular, what I'm trying to do is, I'm for the elect of these people right here. I'm trying to wake up the elect. Because the great majority of these people are not going to get this word. The great majority of the people. Yeah, let me just wait till this settles down. So like I was saying, the great majority of our people now, they're not going to get this word. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So 2/3 of them are going to be destroyed. But there is an election, that the Most High is sealing. Because you also got a brother out there in China that looks like you. That's also doing this work that I'm doing now. There's brothers all over the world that's doing this work that I'm doing now. You know what I mean? So we're not gonna go by how a person looks. If a person may come up, you know, and he may look like he's of another nation, you know, and he has that zeal, you know, we're not going to shut him off like that because, you know.
How do you know if he has one?
Because these people have been scattered all around the world.
How do you know if they have it or not?
You got to try the spirit by the spirit, you know.
What does that mean?
Meaning that you got to
feel it.
You got to examine a man's spirit, you know.
Yeah.
Meaning you got to read his spirit to see if he could be of the elect, you know. That's how you do it, you know. It's a spiritual thing, you know.
How long have you been here?
Well, I've been doing this work for about 10 years. You know?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What about today? Like.
But right now I've been out here for about, you know, almost an hour.
An hour? Okay.
Yeah. So I've been out here teaching almost an hour. Yeah. But there's brothers like me, you know. There's brothers, you know. There's GMS Boston, and those brothers, you know, Adama and Amos, you know.
Yeah.
Elders, you know, and the rest of the brothers. Those brothers are out there tomorrow. They'll be out there They're out there every Sunday, which is tomorrow.
Which church do you go to?
Well, this is the church, you know, because the scripture says when 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I am within the midst. Oh, okay. So this is the church. Coming out here on the streets, because let me get this for you, because, you know, it's not in these churches, because these churches, they don't have the truth. They're not teaching the truth.
Okay. Yeah.
They're not teaching the truth because they're under what is called the 501c3 tax credit, you know, which that they're regulated by the government on how to teach the Bible. You know? They teach that God loves everybody, but that's not true.
Okay.
The Lord only loves the nation of Israel. You know.
Okay. So what happens to the people who are not like from here?
The rest of the people, they're going into slavery under these people.
Oh, they go to hell?
No, they're going into slavery.
Oh, okay.
Hell. The word hell.
Like slavery.
Yeah, slavery.
Oh, okay.
Because of the atrocities, you know. Are you aware of the you know, the history of this place? Do you know the history of America?
Yeah.
You know, the transatlantic slave trade.
Yeah.
You know, the beating. You know, in particular with the so-called Negroes. You know, with the beating and hanging and lynching and all the hard bondage that, you know, those people had that we had to serve. The Negroes had to serve. Yeah. Yeah. So the so-called white man that did that, he's gonna have to pay for that. You know. Okay. He's gonna have to pay for it. I'm gonna prove it to you. I'm gonna show you right now. That he's paying for that. He has to pay for that. Because this is what it says. I'll prove it to you. It's in the book of Revelations.
Do you pick verses or do you just read the whole thing?
Sometimes we read the whole thing, and if we can read verses too as well. But I'm gonna prove that to you that so-called white man.
Is it the Bible or is that like a different version?
It's the Bible. It's the King James version. Because all these other versions out here, you know, they've been tampered with.
Yeah.
You know.
Where did you buy that Bible?
Huh?
Where did you buy that Bible?
Oh, it just came. I bought it. You know, you can buy that at the local bookstore. You know. You know, Barnes and Nobles, you know, any bookstore. Huh? Yeah, so. But you ever heard of the Apocrypha? You ever heard of the 1611 edition? Because there's a 1611 edition, you know. Because you got the Apocrypha right here, which I'm holding. This book is also part of the Bible too. Because there's 14 missing books that they took out of the original Bible. Because originally you had the 1611 edition Bible. 1611 King James Version Bible. That's the original Bible. You know what I mean? But what happened was, since there's a lot of truth in the so-called white man, he's trying to hide the truth. What he's gonna do, he took out, you know, it's called through the Bible Destruction Group, you know, and this happened back in the I think 1500s to 1600s when they removed the Apocrypha, when they took out the scriptures, the books of that's in the Apocrypha, the stories that was in the Apocrypha out of the Bible, you know. So it became the Apocrypha, because the word Apocrypha just means hidden books, you know, because they're trying to hide, you know, the truth, you know. They're trying to hide the rest of the truth, you know, because this Apocrypha, it got a lot of truth in it, you know. It explains, you know, how the Israelites, you know, the Apostle Paul, You're familiar with the Apostle Paul, right? His mission was to go to the Gentiles. You know, you know about the Gentiles, right?
Yeah, of course. I read the Bible.
Yeah. So the Gentiles are not the actual other nations that he was going to. He was going to Gentiles that he was going to these people right here, the Israelites in particular, because at the time only Judah, Benjamin, and Levi were in the land at the time. The rest of the tribes, they were already over here on the other side of the world, you know, which goes down to the Seminole, these tribes, Simeon, all the way down to Issachar. Those tribes were already over here, you know. They were already over here, you know, during the time. So the Apostle Paul was only dealing the people that stayed in the land. The remaining was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. They're the ones that stayed in the land, you know. So yeah, well, he was going to them because the Lord had said, you know, go ye not into the ways of the Gentiles and into the cities of Pharaoh, enter ye not. And he said, go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So that was his mission, you know. He was going to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, you know, because they were lost. Because during the time of the Greeks, you know, when Alexander the Great, when he came into power, you know, after he died, after he conquered, you know, the Persians and the Medes, you know, after he conquered the known world at that time, you know, for 12 years, you know, he did it with a span of 12 years, you know. That's how he's known as the leper, you know, because he conquered the known world in 12 years. That's how fast he conquered the world. But after he conquered the world, he died. So his 4 generals reigned after him, you know. And there was a wicked one, you know, King Antiochus Epiphanes. That was the wickedest one, you know what I mean? So what happened was that Israelites willingly forsook the laws of the Most High, you know, forsook the laws of God and forsook their ways and followed after, you know, the customs of the Greeks. That's why, you know, in that scripture where it says there's neither Jew nor Greek, nor male or female, what that means is that, you know, what the Apostle Paul was talking about, he was talking about they were the same people. The Jews, the Greeks at that time that were calling themselves Greeks were Israelites because they were Hellenized during the Grecian Empire. That's why.
What is the tripod for?
Huh?
What is the tripod for?
Oh, this is on the internet. Because I put this, it goes on the internet.
Oh, really?
You know, because right now I'm streaming live.
Oh,
so
really?
it goes on the internet after I'm done. You know, so this work can get out there more. That's why the tripod's here. That's why I have to set up. Because, you know, we got brothers watching all around the world.
Yeah.
There's brothers all throughout the world. You know, so this word is going out throughout the world. You know, that's why the tripod is here. So like I was saying, so this is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. You know, you're familiar with Alexander the Great, right? Yeah, so he reigned 12 years, you know, during this time of the conquering the known world at that time, which are the Greeks. So, and it says, and his servants built rule everyone in his place. And after his death, they also put crowns upon themselves. So they did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. You know, that's when evils were multiplied, when the so-called white man at the time, when during the time of the Greeks, when he came into power, that's when evil was multiplied in the earth. That's when the earth became exceedingly wicked, you know, when it came into power. You know what I mean? Just like now, you know, you look around you see, in America, you see nothing but wickedness, right? You see homosexuality, you know, bestiality, you see murder, you see drugs, you see crime. You know, crime is at an all-time high in this place. You know, you just see a whole lot of wickedness that's going on in this country. You know what I mean? That's because the so-called white man is ruling. So when they came into power, you know the saying when they say civilization started with the Greeks. You know what they meant by that? They're talking about their civilization. Their time of rulership started with the Greeks. That's why when you hear them say that civilization started with the Greeks, that's what they're referring to. You know, they're referring to their civilization started with the Greeks because they didn't start with them. You know, civilization didn't start with the Greeks. So they're just talking about how their rulership or their empire started with the Greeks, you know. So
Were you reading the Bible or were you reading the?
yeah, I'm just gonna prove the point. To what the history to what happened, you know.
Yeah.
To what happened in the time of Alexander.
Could you summarize it because it's a lot?
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna break it down for you as I'm going along. So it says evils were multiplied in the earth, and then came out themselves, and then came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, Samaritan Epiphanes, the son of Antiochus the king. You know, this is Antiochus the wickedest one. You know, I mean, that came out. The son of Antiochus the king, who had been in hostage at Rome, and he had reigned in the 130th and 17th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. You know, the kingdom of the Greeks. You know, so this is going into how Israel lost their inheritance. You know, on how Israel, you know, forsook their laws and forsook their ways. Most of them, you know, the great majority of them did, but some of us didn't. You know, some of us rather died than to go against the law, statutes, and commandments. You know, some of us would rather die than to go, you know, join with the heathen. So most did, but some didn't because they weren't joined. They refused. So this is going to explain it. The next verse I'm reading right now. So this is what it says right here. So this is verse 11. And it says, in those days there went out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. Since for we departed from them, we have much sorrow. You know, that's why they made the covenant with the heathen, because they were catching hell. So you know that old saying goes, if you can't beat them, join them. So that's what happened. That's what they ended up joining, the heathen. You know, which were the Israelites. You know, that's why when you hear when the Apostle Paul, when he was going to the apostles, you hear that Timothy, right? You know, his father was a Greek. You know that Timothy's father was Greek, right? But he was an Israelite, because what happened was during this time, it's going to explain it, that the Israelites lost their inheritance, you know, during the time of the Greeks going up into the Roman Empire, which was in the time of Paul's time, you know. So this is the history that's going behind that, you know what I mean? So this is the history right here that I'm reading. So that's why they took this book out of the original Bible, the King James Version, because this is the history that's going into it. Let me just finish. And it says, in those days went out wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we had departed from them, we had much sorrow. Verse 12. So did this device please them well, then certain of the people were forward hearing that they went to the king, who gave them licenses to do after the ordinance of the heathen, you know. So this is when they took when the Grecian Empire gave them licenses to do accordingly. So that's when they made that covenant. Which is
said that these are so what if you're not one of these people?
Like I said, if you're not one of these people, anybody that's not any nation that's outside of these people right here, they're going into slavery. So, you know, they're going into slavery.
Oh, I'm Asian, so I'm probably not on this list.
You're Asian?
Yeah.
Well, you could be an Israelite, you know, because we were scattered. These people were scattered all around the world, you know. But them Asians too, they're known as Moabites, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, like the Chinese, they're known as Moab according to the Bible.
Okay.
And the Japanese, they're known as Ammon, because you know, in the, during the time of Lot, right? The story of Lot, when the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, but saved Lot and his two daughters. You know about the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, right?
Not that familiar.
But yeah, what happened was that during that time, you know, homosexuality was at its highest. You know, so what the Most High did was He sent judgment upon them. He rained fire and brimstone upon Sodom and Gomorrah because of homosexuality, destroyed. So, because so the only people that got saved from that city was Lot and his two daughters. You know.
Wait, so homosexuals can't go to heaven?
No, it's wickedness.
Oh,
That's a sin. Because I'm gonna get that for you.
I thought you said that. Okay. Yeah.
Let me get that. Let me get that for you in Leviticus chapter.
Yo, bro, I actually gotta go now, bro.
Okay. All right now.
Yeah. Keep
But
preaching.
you know, you could be an Israelite, but you
Yeah.
know, for the people that's not of the sign, you know, they're going into slavery. You know,
Okay, so
under these people right here.
Yeah.
So when the Lord, who the world English called Jesus Christ, whose name is Yahweh Shai,
Okay.
when He comes back, He's coming back, you know, for the elect of these people. Because 2/3 of these people are going to be killed, are going to die on this side. Did a thermonuclear destruction, you know what I mean? Because America will be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction in the near future. You see, all right. Because you see the tensions between Russia and China.
Yeah. Keep it.
Yeah. Because I'm out here every Saturday. You know, Lord's will, I'll be out here every Saturday. You know. So, at the end of the day, you know, you see a man, you know, that man. You gotta try the spirit by the spirit sometimes. You know? But if he's not of if he's not of these people, you know, his destiny is slavery at the end of the day, you know. He's going into slavery, you know. If he's not, you know, if his line doesn't go back to the 12 tribes, to these 12 people on the sign, you know, they're going into slavery, you know. So if he's not of that, you know, chosen seed, you know, if his line doesn't go back, you know, his destiny is slavery. Right along with the so-called white men, the Arabs, and all these other nations that had us in slavery. Their destiny is slavery at the end of the day. So, you know, he could be an Israelite or he could not be. You know? So it's all based upon the spirit. You know, you just can't shun a person. You know, just because of the way he looks. You know, so he believes in the Bible, so he believes in the Word, so he has that zeal. At the end of the day, you just got to try the spirit by the spirit. You know? That's how the spirit works, and that's how it flows. You know? So, you know, because America will be destroyed by way of thermonuclear destruction. You know, so. It's only a matter of time, and you Jakes out there, y'all better get right, you know, because the time of trouble is right at hand, and you know, you Jakes that are bullshitting and that are playing around, you know, you better take heed to this word. You're gonna get caught up in that destruction when it comes. So I'm gonna continue on. I'm gonna jump back into this destruction real quick. Continue on where I left off in the book of 2nd Ezra. So this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1. And he answered me then and said, measure thou thy time diligently in thyself, and when thou seest part of the sign passeth, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that is even this very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he madeth. You know? Verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seeing earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spoke of these things from the days that were before thee, and even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and end, and the end is manifest, even so the time also of the highest have planned beginnings, and the wonders of the powerful works and endings and effects and signs. You know, I'm gonna continue reading on. Verse 7. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by the faithful whereby ye have believed. You know, and that's talking about the elect. You know, only the elect is gonna be saved up out of the destruction that's from the promise. You know? At the end of the day, you know, you see the signs. You know, you see the warning signs. You know. You see Russia and China, you know, getting themselves ready, preparing, you know. You see Israel and Iran going at each other's throats, you know what I mean? You know, that's the signs right there, you know. That's the sign of the times, you know. That's when the Most High, you know, that's when, you know, things are manifested, you know, through the signs and the uproars, you know. You see over there in Gaza, you know, over there, you know, at the Gaza Strip, we got those Palestinians uprising against those so-called Jews over there, those gutter rats, you know. You see them uprising against them, coming against them. That's uproars of the people, you know. That's the sign of the times right there, you know. That's what the scriptures is talking about. You know, the signs of the times, you know. That's what it means. That's what it means where it says, you know, that's when the Most High shall begin to visit the world as he noted, you know. That's when the Most High is going to begin to visit this place, you know. He's going to visit this place through, you know, through earthquakes, you know, and through famines in diverse places, you know. And these are the beginning of sorrows, you know. That's the beginning of sorrows, you know. So it's only a matter of time where, you know, where the Most High completely annihilates America and destroys this place, you know. And those are the signs. But like I was saying, you know, people are playing games, you know, people are in their folly and they're not taking heed to what the men of the Lord are saying. They're not taking heed to what's going on, you know. They're not applying this work. They're not applying, you know, this work, you know. They're not taking into consideration that America will be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction. Thus saith the Lord. So I'm going to continue on. I'm going to get the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15. And it says, 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the word of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and I will cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true, you know. And that paper is the scriptures right here, you know. It's the Holy Bible, you know. That's where the Most High says that I'll cause them to be written in paper, you know. The Bible, you know. particular the 1611, you know, edition Bible, you know, the Holy Bible, you know, because the words are faithful and true. And it says, verse 3, fear not the fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. You know, at the end of the day, you know, you got people out here, you know what I mean? You know, at the end of the day, you got, you know, the brothers that may not want to do the work, you know what I mean? Because they're afraid how people might think of them or might look at them. Well, at the end of the day, I don't give a fucking shit, you know? I don't give a shit how these people look at me at the end of the day, you know? Because these people at the end of the day, they don't know shit. They don't know anything, you know? They don't know what's about to come upon them, you know? They have no idea, you know? They have no idea that Esau is getting ready to fucking kill. They have no idea that great death is coming to America, you know? Great massive death is coming to America. They have no idea that these things are coming, you know? So at the end of the day, I don't give a fucking shit how these people look at me if I'm standing out here, you know? Because they don't know shit, you know? They don't know anything, you know? They're just walking, they're just going by their daily, you know, they just going by their daily routine, you know? Shopping, you know, buying food, you know, going to McDonald's, you know, buying themselves a double cheeseburger, you know, going to Dunkin' Donuts or going to a pizza stop, you know, going to Macy's, you know, Primark, you know, getting the latest fashion, you know. That's what they're concerned about. They're not concerned about truth or what's going on in the world, you know. They don't know anything, you know. They don't know Esau is getting ready to do away with the dollar, you know. Esau's getting ready to do away with that Federal Reserve note, getting ready to do away with that and set up the RFID microchip, you know. Because that's what's coming at the end of the day. That RFID microchip is right around the corner, you know. Esau's about to implement that RFID microchip, you know. He's about to implement that, you know. These people don't know anything about that, you know. They're just lost, you know. They have no idea, you know. They have no clue to what's about to come to this place, you know. But the scripture says, fear not the incredulity of the people, you know. Let not thy incredulity trouble them. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we as men of the Lord, we don't give a fucking shit how these people look at us. We don't care. We don't care what they think or how they, what they're thinking, you know, how they look at us. At the end of the day, they're just not in our league. They're not on our level, you know. We're from above and they're from beneath, you know. We got the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua working through us. At the end of the day, you know, who gives a fuck how these people think or what they think or how they feel, you know? At the end of the day, the word of the Most High is going to come to pass, you know? The word of the Most High is not going to go out void, you know? You know, it was prophesied that this place will be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction. This place will be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction. Thus saith the Lord, you know? There's no stopping that. You can't stop the word of the Most High that's going out. You can't stop the word of the Most High at the end of the day. You know? His word is going to go out and it's going to accomplish what He sent it. You know? There's just no stopping that. So I'm going to read on. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. You know? All the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. You know? And that's in particular our people, you know. You know, going back to what I said earlier, they just don't want to listen. They just don't want to take heed to what the prophets are saying, you know. They don't want to understand. They can't understand or, you know, or comprehend, you know, the gravity of this destruction that's about to come to America, you know. They just can't understand that. They just can't get it, you know. They just can't grasp that concept, you know, that America will be destroyed by way of thermonuclear destruction, you know. So because they don't want to take heed to what the prophets are saying on these streets, on the highways and byways that's known in this world abroad, they're gonna get destroyed, you know. They're gonna die in their unfaithfulness. They're gonna die. That's just how that's gonna go, you know. They're just gonna die, plain and simple. Verse 5, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. You know, Most High's getting ready to bring plagues upon the world, you know, which is that sword, famine, and death, and destruction, you know. And that's right around the corner, you know. And that sword is in particular talking about the so-called white man, like I said, you know, because he's going to come down, you know, having great wrath, you know, because he knows his time is short, you know. He knows that he only got but a little bit of time to continue. And I'm going to get that, you know. I'm going to get that real quick in the book of Revelations. And that sword, you know, represents Esau, you know. He's that sword. He's the so-called white man's sword, you know. He's the whipping stick, you know, to our people, you know, which is the so-called white man. He's the whipping stick to our people. So I'm gonna get that real quick. So it says right here in the book of Revelations, chapter 12, verse 12, and it says this: Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down upon you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he got but a short time, you know. At the end of the day, you know, that's the so-called white man, which is the devil that the Bible speaks of. He's gonna come upon these people, you know. He's gonna kill. So it says here, I'm gonna get back to the book of 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plague, death, and destruction, for wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled, you know. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, you know? Because you got a lot of wickedness that's going on in this world right now, you know? under the underneath this underneath the ruler who is the so-called white man at the end of the day, you know. For the so-called white man done polluted the whole world with his wickedness, you know. That's why the earth sucks right now, you know. That's why the scripture says when the righteous are dirty, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, you know. That's why this place sucks, you know. I just walked by a brother earlier, you know. He had served in the military, in the army, and look at him. He's living poor, you know. He's on the streets. He's living poor, you know. Where's Uncle Sam at? Where's Uncle Sam to help him, you know? Pretty much Uncle Sam done kicked him in the ass, you know, after he done fought for this country, you know. After our people done fought and bled, you know, for this country. When we come back here, we don't get shit, you know. We get kicked in the ass, you know. So that's why this fucking country sucks, you know. This place sucks because the people that are ruling this place sucks, you know. Shit's unrighteousness, you know. It's unrighteous, you know. The place is nothing but wickedness. That's, you know. Just a whole lot of wickedness, you know. You got to deal with your woman playing mind games with you, playing games with you, you know. You know, you gotta worry, you gotta fucking, when you're walking down the street, you gotta see a faggot, you know. Homosexuality is at an all-time high. Bestiality, immorality, you know. Look at the divorce rate, you know. Look at, you know, the divorce rate in this country is at an all-time high, you know. The divorce is at an all-time high in this place, you know. There's nothing but pure wickedness that's going on in this place, you know. Pure wickedness, you know. Divorce is at an all-time high, you know. You know, you got diseases, you know, at an all-time high, you know. This is the #1 country in diseases, sickness, you know. People are constantly sick, you know. Fast food, you know, GMO foods, you know. Genetically modified foods, you know. This place sucks, you know. We can't even eat real food, you know. We can't even drink clean water or breathe clean air, you know. So this place sucks, you know. You know, you got this devil, you know, with the Georgia Guidestones down in Georgia, you know. Their #1 commandment, it says, you know, their commandment, it says reduce the world's population to under 500 million, you know. So this devil, you know, it's just nothing but death with this devil, you know. He's all about death, you know. Just like in that movie, you know, I always like to refer to that movie, Planet of the Apes, you know. Planet of the Apes, you know, the first one, you know, with Charles Heston, you know. And Cornelius, when he read that 29th scroll in that 6th verse, you know, where it says, you know, at the end of that, where it says, he is the harbinger of death, you know. The so-called white man is just infatuated with death, you know. So that's the so-called white man for you, you know. He's all about death and destruction, you know. You know. That's why he's putting, you know, GMOs, you know, he's putting, you know, putting these stuff in these foods, you know. That's why he's giving the people to eat genetically modified foods, you know. Putting fluoride in the water, you know. Spraying barium oxide in the air, you know. Breaking down your immune system. That's why you got allergies, you know. That's why you're constantly scratching your eyes, your nose is running, you know. Your throat is itching, you know. It all goes back to the so-called white man. Then he's selling you these drugs, you know. These drugs, you know, that's further, you know, breaking down your system, you know. You know, to kind of combat your system, you know. Because he's trying to make money off of your sickness, you know. That's how wicked this place is. That's unrighteousness, you know. Passing laws, homosexuals got rights, you know. saying it's okay to marry your animals, you know, to have sex with your animals. Those are unrighteous things. Those are all wickedness, you know. Those are things that are polluting the world, that's polluting this earth, you know. Wickedness, abominations, you know. All unrighteousness. Let me get that real quick before I continue. All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 10, verse 1. And it says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, you know? And that goes back to the so-called white man, you know? Him and his unrighteous decrees, you know? Because the scripture says, woe unto him that decree unrighteous decrees, you know? That write grievous upon, you know, which they have prescribed, you know? That all goes back to the so-called white man, you know? Because at the end of the day, he's the one that's doing all, contrary all this wickedness that's going round about in this world, you know? Just pure wickedness and folly, you know? You got to deal with, you know, living in America, you know? All matters of bullshit, you know? Judgment never goes forth, you know? You can't put an adulteress to death, you know? You can't put a homosexual to death. You can't put a man that's selling drugs, you know, to his own people, you know, to death, you know? It's all unrighteousness, you know? Because when you do it, you know, they want to lock you up as if you did something wrong, you know? So that's a righteous act, you know? Which is righteousness according to the Bible, you know? Putting a homosexual to death is righteous, you know? Putting a drug dealer to death is righteous, you know? Putting an adulterer and adulteress to death is righteous, you know? These are righteous things, you know? But what does the so-called white man do? He calls it a crime. He calls it murder, you know? He want to lock you up as if you did something wrong. You know what I mean? Those are unrighteous decrees, you know? Those are unrighteousness. You know? And that's why it says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, you know? Most High's gonna pay this devil back for the unrighteous decrees that he did, you know? He's gonna pay him back double. But I'm gonna jump back in this I'm gonna continue in the book of 2nd Ezra, you know, the 15th chapter. So it says in verse 7, it says, therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more in touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither I will suffer them in those days, in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth upon me, and the souls of the just complain continually. You know, the souls of the just complain continually. You know, we're constantly complaining. You know, the souls that are with, you know, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua right now, and the souls also that the brothers out here that are on these highways of knowledge, complaining continually. You know, bring this white man down. You know, destroy this place. Do away with this place. Do away with America. Do away with all this bullshit. You know? It's nothing but wickedness. You know? We can't. You know, we don't want to live here. You know, this is not living. You know, eating GMO food is not living. You know, having to breathe polluted air, that's not living. You know. Or drinking, you know, contaminated water. That's not living, you know. Or, you know, having to worry about, you know, about your woman going out on you, you know what I mean, or going astray on you. That's not living, you know. That's all bullshit, you know. Having to wake up in the morning to work for this devil, you know, to punch in a clock, that's not living it, you know. It's all bullshit. So, you know, so may the Most High bring this so-called white man down, you know. Maybe how about Shimon shot, you know, he has to go, you know, this place just got to go, you know. This place is just, it's not living, you know. Call this is not the place of living, you know. It's all bullshit, you know. It's a mess here, you know. This place is nothing but a cesspool. So yeah, made it, you know, I'm gonna continue on. So I'm gonna continue on. Verse 9, therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter, and I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, you know. So deliverance is right around the corner, because the Most High said he's not going to suffer us to live under these conditions no more. In particular, he's coming back. You know, he's going to send our Lord Yahushua to deliver the elect of the nation of Israel. We're here. You know, the Lord is going to finally bring us up out of here. You know? It's right around the corner. You know, but at the same time, you know, we're just going to have to. We got to get past that last, you know, that last wave, you know. So at the end of the day, we're not out of the woods yet, you know. The only time when we're safe, you know, is when we're dead or when we're in the chariot. That's when we're going to be safe. You know, that's when we can say we finally made it, you know. At the end of the day. But until then, you know, brothers that are out there on the highways and byways, we still got to keep pushing this word, you know. We still gotta, you know, keep pushing this word. We still gotta fish for the elect, you know, whomever they might be, you know. So at the end of the day, we still got a job to do as men of the Lord, you know. So, you know, we still gotta hold fast, you know, in the thing. We still gotta hold fast to what is faithful and true, you know, to these laws, statutes, and commandments. Verse 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. You know, at the end of the day, the Most High is going to destroy this place. You know, for the sake of the elect. You know, The Most High is going to destroy America for the sake of the elect. You know? America will be destroyed, you know, by way of thermonuclear destruction. They'll save the Lord. You know? But before America gets destroyed, he's going to smite America with plagues, you know, as before, you know. Which what happened? What happened before? You know, during the time when we was in captivity under the Egyptians. You know, all those plagues that came upon the Egyptians. You know, that came upon them. You know, the same way the Most High is gonna do to this place. You know, he's gonna bring death and calamity upon America, and that's right around the corner. And Lord, boy, I can't wait for that, you know. Can't wait till this place gets destroyed, boy. So much wickedness. So much wickedness. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, this place just got to go. So, you know, I'm going to continue on. Verse 12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten with the plagues and the punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. You know? Plagues and the punishment which the Most High shall bring upon it, you know. The plagues and the punishment is that, you know, thermonuclear missiles, you know, that famine, that great death and that great destruction, you know. That's what's going to come upon this place, you know. At the end of the day, this place just got to go, you know. There's just too much wickedness at the end of the day that's dwelling, you know. Place will be destroyed by a way of thermonuclear destruction, thus save the Lord. And that's right around the corner. There's no stopping. There's no stopping that, you know, destruction that's coming. This destruction can't be stopped. You know? It's going to happen, thus save the Lord. Thus save the Lord thy God. You know? That destruction will take place. Real quick, let me just ask you, what's your nationality?
I don't have a nationality.
No, what's your father? You know?
What's my father?
Yeah.
My father's I believe, a half human, half God.
Like would you consider, you know, that he's a Negro? You know,
say again?
Would you consider that he's a Negro? One of these top tribes, right? Top 3 tribes.
Well, all of these were created back in the 1800s.
Yeah, these are just bywords, but you know this was a curse that the Most High put upon our people for these bywords.
So you saying the Most High created us and then cursed us?
Yeah, because he chose one nation. You know, he chose the nation of Israel. You know what I mean?
So you say he created a group of people and just chose one people?
Yeah, he chose one people.
So what? So
which are the nation of Israel?
So what happens to the other people? Like
the other people, like the so-called, in particular, the so-called white men in these other nations, they go into slavery under these people right here.
So why would he create? Why would the Most High create? I know there's zodiac signs. Why would the Most High create like a group of people and then all of a sudden just say, you know what, this group right here is solely meant to leave?
Yeah, because he chose. That's how he chose it. Because it all goes back to the how it was set up, you know, through the birthright, you know, through Abraham, you know. Because because Abraham made a covenant. The Most High made a covenant with Abraham, you know, and from Abraham it went down to Isaac, and that covenant from Isaac went down to Jacob, and then from Jacob went down to his 12 sons, which in return are these people right here, the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. So it all goes back to the covenant and to the birthright that the Most High made, you know, with Abraham.
So he created a bunch of humans, dropped them off on the planet, and just made a covenant with one person?
Yeah, with one nation, actually. Not one person, one nation.
But with one nation.
These people right here, these are the people that he made that covenant with, you know. And the rest of the other people, they're going to have to serve him.
So do you consider that God to be fair?
Huh?
Is there a reason why he made a covenant only with those people and not the rest of them?
At the end of the day, you know, the rest of them, they're in their salvation. The so-called white man is in their salvation. You know what I mean? You see, he's ruling the earth right now, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
You know, he controls the money. You know, he makes the laws, he makes the rules, he regulates, you know, the money. You know, he's in the salvation. So, in the interest of fairness, you know, the Most High, you know, gave the nations their turn to rule. You know, throughout history. You know, every nation throughout history already ruled, except for these people right here. We once ruled, you know, during the time of Solomon, King Solomon. You know, King David, King Solomon. You know, we did rule. You know, of a period of 80 years. But at the end of the day, the Most High made that covenant with these people right here. We're the ones that are going to rule this earth forever. And these other nations, they're going to have to serve us. You know? There are servants. That's the blessing, you know, that the Most High made the covenant.
So you consider a group of people that control the planet to have servants to be blessed by the Most High? Is that what you think?
Servants? Yeah, of course.
So once these people transition into power, or once these tribes transition into power, is that the holy? Is that the King James?
Yeah, this is the King James Bible.
Nah, don't read that to me.
Yeah, I got you. This is the book. This is the proof right here. You know?
Nah.
I mean, if you don't believe in the word of the Most High at the end of the day, do you believe in the Bible?
The Most High don't, like, those words were created by men.
No, they were created by the Most High.
So King James didn't write the Bible?
No, he didn't write the Bible. He was just a man.
He didn't control, you know, the people that understood Latin and Greek for the
Yeah, that's what he did. He got 70 scholars that translated, you know, those ancient scrolls that were written in Hebrew into English.
Those scholars, were they European or were they what were they?
They were Negroes, you know what I mean?
They were Negroes.
Yeah.
So the people so you saying the scholars?
Yeah, King James, he was a Negro, you know, because we ruled in the time of the Dark Ages.
So you saying King James was melanated? Yeah,
he was melanated, of course. Because there's a book called Nature Knows No Color Now by J.R.A. Rogers. You got to read that book. J.R.A. Rogers.
Okay.
Nature Knows No Color.
Did King James write any other books?
No, he didn't write any other books.
He didn't write it.
He didn't write it. What he did, he just got 70 scholars together, you know, that translated, you know, the original text into English. You know.
I heard that I heard King James, you know, also sort of produced or gathered scholars to create like a demonic orientation type of Bible.
Nah, those are all lies. You know? Those are all lies portrayed by the so-called white man. Kind of caused this confusion. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, what you have information and you have disinformation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's disinformation right there. That's going against that. Those are all lies.
And you said King James was melanated. I was under the assumption that King James was a European.
No, he wasn't a European because we ruled over there in the time during the Dark Ages in England. You know, over those areas. We had the so-called white man in slavery. But what happened was he ended up, you know, ended up happening was he got loose, you know, because what ended up happening is that so-called white people ended up marrying in within our, you know, royal families.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So that's how they ended up taking over us. But that was going according to prophecy, because that was prophecy, you know. That was prophecy that the so-called white man was once again going to come back into power, which he's ruling now to this today. You know what I mean? So that's what happened. That's when we lost that whole thing.
So Holy Bible, are you into like etymology and breaking down root words of the Bible?
Yeah, yeah.
So what does Holy Bible mean?
Holy Bible means, the pure word of the scripture. Holy means pure. Holy Bible. The word Bible is just.
I thought holy means Helios, and Helios means son in Greek.
No.
And Bible means
No, that's all. That's
Biblios is Biblioteka, which is a book
yeah.
in Spanish, but we transition Bible into Latin. It stands for book. So it stands for some book, and it's predicated off of the 12 systems in the body. That's where you get the 12 disciples from, and the zodiac sign right there. I need to speak that zodiac sign.
Yes.
How does your religion feel about the zodiac sign?
No, we don't follow that. That's all on the left hand side.
So even though the pyramids align up with Orion perfectly,
that's all on the left hand side. That's all witchcraft, But that's all created on the left hand side.
How do you feel ancient African monuments being called, like whenever we try to get an understanding of our technology, such as the pyramids and things of that nature, we call it witchcraft. You don't think that that's the European putting that ideal in our mind, and that we once used like the pyramids were like an energy structure in order to maintain?
I mean, that's all going back to the time of the Hamites. Because at the end of the day, these people right here that you see on the side, we're not the same. And the Hamites over there, we're not the same people. You know what I mean? So that's the so-called white man attracted and taking those philosophies back then and making it its own. That's why when you look at the dollar bill, you know what I mean, you got the pyramid right there with the all-state eye. Yeah. And what it says under it, Novus Secularis,
Is that your Kiwi?
Which means New World. No, that's not. Right along, brother. Which means New World Order. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that just means they're adopting those philosophies and making it their own, which is American. So that's just the so-called white man adopting those philosophies and making it his own.
I'm gonna do a little bit more research.
Yeah, definitely. But at the end of the day, you're an Israelite, brother. One of these tribes.
I disagree with that, man. I'm children of the sun, man.
At the end of the day, if you believe in those,
I feel like I'm a god, bro.
You are a god,
because like we're all gods, we're all geniuses.
You know what I mean?
Intelligent.
Only these people right here. We're the gods of the earth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not these other.
So where do you?
So what I mean, they're going into slavery.
So what are you seeing the origin of Europeans? Do you think that they came out of the Caucasus Mountains?
Yeah.
Either of Patmos or things like that?
Yeah.
Like the Muslims had that doctrine.
They're known as Edomites according to the Bible. They're known as Esau. Okay. You know what I mean? That's why when he came out, he came out red, and he was hairy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's Esau. Their inheritance, their line goes back to Esau.
So, are you seeing that Europeans, your religion believes that Europeans are genetically modified with albinos, rhesus monkeys, and what else? Wolf DNA?
No, because we still got our people that are of this tribe right here.
Yeah.
They may come out looking white, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they just call it albino because at the end of the day, the so-called white men, they came from us. You know what I mean? We didn't come out of them; they came from us. You know what I mean? But just because you may see an albino, that doesn't mean that he's a European. He got genetic European blood. You know what I mean? It just means that he just got that skin.
I see like Asian albino, white albino. There's all types of albino. I'm just curious to know like where the religion stood in terms of the origin of Europeans, where they came from.
So it just doesn't
how
mean
long they've been on Earth. So you're saying that they've been on Earth for more than 10,000 years?
They've been on Earth.
There's a scientific
because that's leprosy.
There's a scientific document that's claiming that Europeans only been on Earth for about 6,000 years.
No.
Out of Australia. Damn, I forgot the name of this document. It's the University of Australia. Really?
No, they was there long before that. At the end of the day, they came out of it was called Jacob and Esau. Because they're known as these so-called white people's Europeans. They're known as Esau according to the Bible. So they've been here long before that. Because at the end of the day, it all goes back to the story of Cain and Abel.
Yeah.
What happened with that story was that Cain ended up killing Abel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's one of the Bibles.
Yeah, killing Abel. because because he had did that, because he had rose up and killed his brother Abel. You know what I mean? He was eventually cursed with leprosy. That's where you had that lepers. That's where all that leprosy came from. It came from through that curse that I put on Cain, you know, for doing that very act, you know, saying that if anybody touches him, you know that.
So the Cain and Abel story doesn't have any relevance to the Kundalini energy.
No.
Abel being like the feminine aspect and Cain being
no
aspect.
No, absolutely not.
And like
because at the end of the day, that just represents good and evil. Because no goes back to Adam and Eve. So Cain, Abel represented righteousness. No, Cain represented wickedness, and Abel represented righteousness.
The only thing I have, the only thing that stands out with the Bible, and you know, I'm not trying to go up against nobody belief. You believe, I respect everybody belief. At least you're trying to go out and seek and find, you know, certain belief. You know, like the whole Adam and Eve story. Like, I feel like Eve and the serpent was more realer or more honest than God, because God didn't want us to eat from the tree of knowledge. He wanted us to stay blind and dumb. Basically,
at the end of the day, that serpent was an actual person.
I mean, whether the serpent was an actual person, what I'm saying is that once they bit into the fruit,
actually, what it wasn't. That was a metaphor. I mean, it had nothing to do with the fruit or whatever. Okay. That was just a metaphor.
So what made
the philosophy?
So what made Adam and Eve come out of discernment and into awareness?
You go to the earth and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his